This pitch that I'm on is literally, it's like this. Your toilet is basically a kitchen and your bedroom. So I've just been filming the campsite tour, and I'll show you that a little bit later on, but I had to show you this. But I still haven't answered, are people falling out of love with smaller camper vans?
Welcome back, everybody. I think we need to have a chat. Do you think people are falling out of love with smaller and mid-sized camper vans? It feels like every time I scroll through forums, Facebook groups or Vanlife hashtags, more and more folk seem to be trading their trusty little vans for something a little bit bigger. But here's the question. Is bigger always better? Or are we in danger of forgetting why vans became so popular in the first place?
I think small camper vans like mine became popular because they made van life simple. They're easy to drive, there's no parking dramas, and they can be used as a daily driver. It was the idea that a van could be both a car and a camper without having to drag your entire house contents around with you. But something's changing. There's so many people upgrading now to crafters and sprinters and full-blown motorhomes. And why is that? Well, the simple answer is space. And before you say it, yeah, I know my bag looks like a life jacket. It's bright yellow, but I love it. Let's get on with this walk.
Alright, let's be real for a second. Here are the most common gripes I hear about smaller vans.
It's quite cramped space-wise, and if there's a lot of you, it quickly turns into a bit of human Tetris. There's no real proper shower in smaller vans. Your toilet is basically a kitchen and your bedroom, and standing up can be a pain if you don't have a pop top. And for some people, after a while, that wears thin. But for others, it's part of the charm. And that behind me there is the major oak tree. It's pretty massive and properly old.
Remember though, this video isn't disrespecting those that own larger vans. I personally am mostly envious when I see them at campsites, and in all honesty, I would prefer to have a larger van myself. I just can't afford one. I'm just trying to figure out whether smaller vans are becoming less desirable.
You see, what I like about Jeff is he forces me to pack light. No walk-in wardrobe and definitely no kitchen sink. And rather than being cooped up in a small van, what it does is it forces me to go outside, and I absolutely love the outdoors. I always get talking to people on campsites. I'm like that annoying guy that never goes away, just keeps talking. Yeah, that's me. And I was talking to a couple a few months back who had a massive motorhome, and it intrigued me because it was beautiful, like something from a James Bond film. But the lady who was with it, husband and wife, the lady were telling me that they spent most of their time panicking about the roads, whether they could fit down, panicking whether they'd actually be allowed in the campsite, and panicking where they were going to park up to go shopping, to get some supplies. So there's something to be said about that, I suppose.
I also think social media's played a role in this shift to bigger vans. We've all seen those videos, a gorgeous couple, perfectly dressed, sipping coffee in a van that looks like a Scandinavian spa on wheels, full shower, composting loo, king-size bed, mood lighting that probably cost more than Jeff's engine. Thing is, those setups look great on Instagram, but are they practical, or are we being sold a bit of a dream?
Because the reality of owning a larger van means more fuel, higher ferry costs, limited parking, and don't get me started on the country roads. Do you know what? There's no wrong or right answer here. Get the van that best suits your needs. And I don't want to make this a big argument in the comment section about bigger vans are best, smaller vans are best. I think the people who've got bigger vans are fully aware of their limitations, and people who've got smaller vans are also fully aware of their limitations. But I still haven't answered, are people falling out of love with smaller camper vans? Do you know what? My honest answer is I don't think people are falling out of love with smaller camper vans. In fact, to the contrary. A friend of mine, John, you've seen on the channel, I'll pop a picture up of him now. He's just bought a caddy and he's going to start converting that into a mini camper van. I'll document some of the process. I'm giving him a camera, so we'll see how that's going on. And there's quite a few of you lovely subscribers out there that are sending me messages saying, you bought your first van, you know, it's either a transporter or it's a Vivaro or it's a Transit, whatever it is, it's all very similar sort of sizes. So I think that people are still into it. It's just that a lot of people who have had smaller vans maybe had the idea that we're going to get a bigger van at some point. The smaller van was like an entry point into seeing whether they like camping or not, or they just outgrew it. Maybe they had more family. Maybe they just went, you know what, I want to stand up today and I want to shower and I want all these luxury things. I want my bed set up for me every single night without having to set it up. Because do you know what? At the end of the day, the views are the same when you get out of your van, no matter what you've got. And that is the truth. And I'll tell you something now, Sherwood Forest is right nice. Oh. Oh, well, that was a lovely short walk, quite like that, about 2 miles. If you like those kind of shorter walks where I talk about something you might be interested in, let me know and I'll do a few more of those videos for you, because tomorrow I'm doing a biblical walk with a subscriber. It's another walking with, number 2 in fact. I think the first one I did was January, February, and the second one is September. So I've not been very good with those, but hopefully now I've got a different format and a different system, I should be able to do more walking with you guys. But I think what I'm going to do now is get the kettle on, have a cuppa, have a pot noodle, obviously, and then we'll head on to today's campsite, the campsite I'm going to be staying at for the next 2 nights, and I cannot wait. It doesn't allow fire pits, but I think the location more than makes up for it, and I can't wait for you to see it. Right, pot noodle time. When I say pot noodle these days, it usually means a Naked Big Eat. Hopefully they'll sponsor me. Right then, dinner had, let's head on to this campsite. Nice.
Stay tuned for the all-important tour of the facilities of the campsite I'm staying at, and as you can see from this footage, it might be a struggle for larger motorhomes to get up this track and indeed get through the smaller first gate near the entrance. Definitely not a site for caravans.
I know you wanna go to the city, so let's run away now.
So I've arrived, brilliant, lovely site, epic views. We'll get onto those in a minute. However, this pitch that I'm on is literally, it's like this. Just gonna put my beer down. So I think I'm gonna have to get my chocks out for the first time in, I don't know, many, many moons.
When the night comes, I find my way back home. Where do we go now? We're going nowhere. We're gonna miss the sky. We're gonna find ourselves in the afterlife. We're going nowhere. We're gonna miss.
It's either gonna work or I'm gonna absolutely destroy them with these wheels. That is basically as flat as it's getting. So thankfully my feet are going to be facing that way. Otherwise I'll just wake up with heartburn. I'm over 40 now, so it's... The magic of editing, eh? You would think that I'd just set up and I've just sat down now. No, I've been here about 2 hours, checking out this awesome view and absolutely chilling out. And next week's video for you is going to be a walking with video with a chap called Simon. I can't wait for you to see him. He's just arrived, his van is epic, but again, I'll show you that in next week's video. Just over to my right here, about 50 foot away, is another subscriber, which is awesome. So it's a bit of a mini subscriber meetup, accidental, obviously, the chap on the right. But yeah, we're going for a big walk tomorrow. Figure of 8 miles, should be nice, and I can't wait. I had to show you this while I'm here. Now, if you've got a tent, what you can do is camp down here right next to the river. There's a couple of spots in the campsite tour that, again, I'll be showing you a couple of different spots further on. But this is called Crow One, I think. I'm assuming, because it's in like a crow's nest. And yeah, this is great. Can't bring your van down here, obviously. It's just a tiny pass, but check that out. That's your spot there, right next to the... I'll do some B-roll so you don't have to look at my face. Literally right next to the stream. Yeah, it's a stream. Oh, this would be biblical, wouldn't it? Couple of tents out here, couple of beers, quiet, no one else about. Oh. Also, it's on quite a hill. Yeah, the track coming up here was interesting. I think I've got some footage of it in the van, but yeah, the track coming up here was interesting. Never really shows kind of how difficult it is on video. It looks flat, but the views, oh, these views are so nice. I know you can just see my face, you'll have to wait for the campsite tour. On today's episode of Cooking with Cole, don't worry, you're not going to see me cook. We've got some nice lettuce, we've got some burgers, we've got some halloumi, bit of butter for the bread. If you don't butter your bread, you're a psychopath. Some sauces, we've got some of the gourmet burger kitchen sauce, which I quite like. And then the classic burger sauce by Sainsbury's, which I've not tried. So if I put up my burger and I don't like it, it's tough, got to eat it, I've got nothing else. Knife, some little mini pinchers, which you have to do that just to check they work every time. And some olive oil. It's all going to get cooked inside the SQ Professional, hashtag not sponsored. And I'll see you when it's done. See you, bye. Yeah. So I've had my dinner, got a full belly, everything's packed and ready for tomorrow. Just need to take my sandwiches out of the fridge and put them in my bag. And Simon, our walking with guest for tomorrow, which will be next week's video for you, has given me a local ale to try that he's brought from Brimstage Brewery. So if you're a Brimstage Brewery fan, I'm going to try a Sandpiper. So thank you so much, Simon. Again, you'll get to see him in next week's video and his van, and I'll give you a little bit of a van tour of his van as well. So yeah, look forward to that. And coming up next, I'm going to drink this and end the video, and it's now time for your campsite tour. So I shall see you next week. See you, bye. Also, nice.
Upper Booth Farm Campsite is a National Trust site in the Peak District that's open from March until the end of November each year, and it's family and dog friendly too. This site is right on the Pennine Way, so there are plenty of walks directly from the site, and there's a lovely pub about a 30-minute off-road walk in the village. As mentioned earlier, this campsite is best suited for smaller camper vans and tents, as the steep, narrow and rocky track leading up to the site isn't very motorhome or caravan friendly. This site doesn't allow fire pits, but it more than makes up for that with the views it offers. The views are stunning. As it was late summer, early autumn, sitting out was pleasant enough without a fire pit. There's a handful of hard standing pitches, most of which are level and flat, but the one that I was at and the one next to it was definitely one for larger levelling chocks than the ones I own. This site is also fully off-grid, so there's no electric hookup option. There are a handful of waste disposal areas dotted around the site too. At the entrance of the site is a shop. It stocks a few items that you might need during your stay, but doesn't yet offer food like other National Trust campsites do. At the bottom of the main tent camping field is a well-kept toilet and shower block with an accessible toilet. The showers were clean and warm, and just outside this block was a semi-undercover potwash area. There's also this lovely communal seating and cooking area with a freezer. Great for when the weather is wild out or you want to chat and make friends with people with similar interests to you. Another great addition is this dog exercising field too. There are a few water taps dotted around, and I did look, but I couldn't find an Elson point. All in all, I really like this site. As with most National Trust sites, it's very well looked after, and I paid £26 a night for my stay, and I will be back for more adventures. Tune in next week for a Walking With episode that has more twists and turns than a Hollywood blockbuster. See you, bye.
If I say, yeah. There's so many people struggling with a parking meter.
Buckle my shoe.
Maybe not put that in. Oof, you no, what was that? Oh, it's just a leaf on a spider's web. Smells lovely, it's super quiet. The views are epic, and I know I've got to go up some of those tomorrow. Yeah,